Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Terribad Tavern. Now, typically, I jump in with a lot of energy and a lot of excitement, and yeah, we're here. But today at Terribad Tavern, we open to a gloomy sight. In one district in the Citadel, one that is known as the Sleeping District, decades ago, a fire ravaged it and left one building standing. Back then, known as the Goldstone Manor, now the Unsullied Manor, hence the only manor standing. The Citadel has used this entire district as a graveyard. And today, a cloudy day in the Citadel, a funeral is being held. Around a freshly dug grave stands five very unlikely people watching a coffin be buried into it as a priest gives its last rites. The headstone reads, "Our dear friend Alan." Away from this party, two individuals, both we recognize, but one we only know the name of, stand out of earshot. The one we know the name of is, of course, Robert Hyde, the public representative to the Silver Wolf Order. They stand next to someone we have seen, a Dragonborn who is also a member of the Silver Wolves, but we have yet to interact with. The Dragonborn woman leans over to Robert, and the following is their interaction. The Dragonborn woman begins, "So, you paid for the funeral." Robert nods and says, "I felt it was the right thing to do." The Dragonborn woman shakes her head and goes, "You're getting soft, and in this time, we need to be ready." Robert rolls his eyes and says, "The prophecy isn't coming true, at least not yet. We'll be prepared, and they'll be ready. The queen will have what she wants." Abigail begins to step away, and she looks back to Robert just before leaving and says, "You need to remember what you're doing here, Robert. Remember who you're fighting for." And she leaves. Robert stays standing out of the way, watching as the final proceedings of the funeral take place. You all now stand around a filled grave as the funeral procession leaves, and Alan is buried in the ground. It is 4 days since the last time you all fought together, and since the events of the Unsullied Manor. What do you all do?
Have we seen each other?
I would say that the past 4 days have probably been filled with drinking and mourning. Considering the last we saw all of you, you were in an inn getting ready to, drink the night away.
Are we all back at the Blue Star?
You're all currently at the grave.
Okay.
Probably at one point in the last few days, FIFA, the first thing that he's done is go to Vaza and say, could I maybe get a favor?
Yeah.
I'm not a monetary person, and well, I don't have any gold on me, but I would really like if I could get a bit of a healing kit or some kind. This way I could make sure that something like this doesn't happen again.
Got your healing kit for you, buddy. Don't you worry. Do you want some gold?
Gold, or you can buy the kit if you're not comfortable with like giving me straight up money. I understand. I am not very responsible.
Yes, this is very true. You're not very responsible, but this is where I like smack you with my tail when you get out of line. Let me give you some money. How do I give you some money?
I suppose
is 2 gold enough?
I would say if you're trying to give money, you could probably just subtract whatever you plan to give from your inventory, and then FIFA can add to his.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is 2? Do you need 5? How much do you need, buddy?
How much is medical supplies?
2 gold is more gold than I've ever had in my entire life.
I'm gonna give you 2 gold. I'm gonna give you 3 gold. You have 3 gold.
Oh.
You have 3.
I'll give you 2.
Oh, wow.
Because I like it.
By the Dawnbeard, this is amazing.
There you go, little buddy. 3 gold just for you. You spend it wisely.
Absolutely. And I go and I buy a healing kit, a balloon, and I donate the rest to feed the children.
Very well. Love it.
What color balloon did you get?
Oh, it's a pink one.
Yeah!
It matches the beard and the top knot. It's so good.
I love it.
And I bring it to the funeral and I like tie it to one of the flowers on the like next to the gravestone. As sort of like my little offering.
Nice. Anybody else have anything they wish to ask or settle or say they did in the past couple days or whatever it may be?
The past couple days, I would have remained pretty solitary, but I would have been trying to get into that book that I found.
The one with the odd symbol on the front.
Yeah, there was a lock on it too, wasn't there? Or was it just a symbol?
Gosh, I can't remember. Probably should have watched the last episode in order to refresh my memory, considering how long it's been. There might have been a lock on it.
There was a lock on it, yeah.
There was? Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty sure there was a lock. Yeah.
I guess make a sleight of hand check to see if you were able to pick the lock. You have a +1 to sleight of hand? Damn. You got a 9,
I do.
so...
So probably not.
No. You were unable to successfully pick the lock.
It was right on the edge between 20 and 9, and then it just slips.
If only we knew someone that had a really
So
good...
I'm probably also looking. What move?
I was saying, if only we knew someone that had a really good number for sleight of hand.
I mean, yeah, if only.
So so I'm gonna go to Azrael. I'm gonna say to him, "Need your help with something. Need to keep it between us."
But of course.
Okay. So then I'd show him the book that I need to get into.
Okay. Dorcas hands you this very old leather-bound book with a lock on the side and a symbol you don't quite recognize.
I will try my hand at sleight of hand.
Alrighty. With a +6. It hasn't come up for me yet. It's an 8. You did worse than Dorcas did.
The book is puzzling you both.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what this is trying to tell me.
Yeah, I would say it's probably a lock you don't quite recognize, not one you see a lot. So you were unable to open it.
Alright, well, you did your best. I thank you for your efforts.
Anybody else got other ideas?
I would have performed a con to raise enough money to replace my clothing.
I'm gonna say that along with Robert paying for the funeral, he probably paid to have you guys like taken care of and stuff. So the way I pictured it is Robert probably found you guys the morning after in the Blue Star, and seeing how distraught you all were, and you all most likely telling him the story of what happened in the Unsullied Manor, if I would be correct in assuming you guys probably did that, took it upon himself to make sure you all were taken care of before the funeral actually happened. So I would say you probably got your clothes hemmed and, fixed up and everything. There's some stitch lines, but they're not like, he couldn't pay for brand new fine robes, but so with that, y'all do you guys back away from the grave?
Yeah.
So you all step away from the grave and begin, paying your last respects. As you all sort of walk away, you see Robert standing kind of out of the way as you pass him, and he goes, not to, take anything away from what's happened today, but the Queen would like to see all of you when most convenient. And there was someone who I heard was asking for Gildea at the barracks. I'm not sure if they are still there, but that's someone from the Malian military is looking for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Someone be looking for you.
I mean, most likely in the interim pre-funeral, I would have been, like, back and forth between barracks and tavern, so...
Probably, yeah.
Legend tells of a great general whose constellation is up in the stars. She led 88 men. They called her the She-Wolf. And she was fierce.
Shout out to She-Wolf, Wolfie.
Very fierce.
I love it.
I just thought about telling that story. I was thinking about the military.
She's a wonderful role model for me.
It's one of my favorite constellations.
Robert sort of gives you all a nod and goes, I'll be at the castle whenever you decide to go see the Queen. If there's nothing else you need from me, that is.
Thanks, Rodney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we notice the Dragonborn that was with him?
I would say no.
Okay.
They were kind of out of the way from the funeral procession. But
Right.
if you have nothing else for him, he takes his leave and you're all headed out of the graveyard.
Well,
So do
shall
we
get on
tell
with it?
the Queen what we know so far? Do we want to go to her first?
Well,
I think so.
it's what we were technically tasked to do.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay,
Get on with it.
let's go see what she's
Right.
got to say. Do you want to go see your guard person first?
No, better to not keep the queen waiting.
Okay. Let's
Um,
go.
You all head up to the castle, where it's from the last time you saw it, where there was a big event and people were just everywhere and it was constantly like things are going on. It's very relaxed. Guards are, moving back and forth to their different positions. There's, the occasional person coming up and waiting for their turn to talk to someone from the government. The occasional noble is just sort of walking around the garden because they can. You enter the main chamber, where the events that kind of led you all on this journey happened. And there is a few guards kind of scattered about this room. All of like the stage and the bar and things like that are all gone now. They seem to be like temporary things that were there just for the event, so it's just sort of a large main hall. And the throne is currently sitting empty and being cleaned by a few people as Robert opens one of the side doors and sort of waves toward all of you to follow into the back rooms.
Okay.
As you all fall in and head your way through the back rooms, there is that big arrowhead table that had all of the crests and things on it that you originally met the queen at. You head up the stairs at the end of that to a much smaller room behind a grand door. And when you enter this room, it is like an office. There's a large desk at the one side with a big, nice elaborate chair. There are bookshelves all across the walls, some paintings hung up. There's a side table with some maps and books stacked on it. There's a couch and some chairs in front of the desk for people to be seated at. And the queen is sitting at that elaborate chair behind the desk and appears to be having a conversation with a silver wolf, one that you never met, but you did see. It was the much older silver wolf that had caught the fireball way back when the events happened. And when you all enter, they seem to be in the middle of a conversation. And the queen looks up to see Robert guiding you all in and goes, "Is something wrong, Robert?" And Robert goes, "No, you asked to see the agents." And she goes, "Oh, of course, please, come in, everyone, I'm sorry." And you all are brought in and sort of sat down at the tables and things. She goes, "Allow me to introduce Oscar Soma. He is the Master of Mayhem who currently resides in my court." And the older man, who's kind of like sitting against the edge of the desk, gives you all a nod and a short wave. And she goes, "Now, Robert has informed me that you have some information about our friends."
Aye.
Well then,
Not sure we'd call them friends. But
So I don't remember all the information we have.
so you guys had, let me think. God, what all did I tell you about? Where's my notes?
Well, let me tell you everything that's been happening.
And let's get our recap from FIFA.
Oh God. Okay. Well, where do I begin? First, we met a lovely group of adventurers who had a robot companion. It was phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Then we went into this creepy house at number 19 Bangosank Road underground, and from there we went inside, and they're doing some creepy shiza in there, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. There was a creepy old man, and we rescued somebody from there. And they would be able to tell you more. Their name is Alex, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And they would probably know way more than we do, and we can go get them if they're not here. Alex, are you here?
They are not here.
Well, son of a Trisket, we will go get Alex and be right back.
So, other information that you got, it was all actually pretty accurate, which is much to say about, FIFA's typical going for it. But the information that you had specifically gotten was that when you came face to face with the person who everyone else was referring to as the apprentice, but referred to themselves as the master, they had said that they will wait for you where the bone bridge shattered, and that they wouldn't make it easy on you, but they would definitely be there when you arrived. And that was the information you got before going back up the elevator.
Do we want to share that information with them, though?
That's up to all you.
Yes.
I don't see why not.
And they said something about a bridge made of bones that was shattered.
Do you know
Which
anything
makes-
about that, Queenie?
So, when you mentioned the bone bridge, the older man, Oscar, who's sitting at the desk, kind of scoffs and shakes his head and goes, "Okay, now, what did they really say?"
That's what they said.
Um,
Meet us at where the bone bridge shatters.
their sort of jolly smile turns into a frown almost instantly when you come back with "that's what they said." And he goes, the Bone Bridge lies beyond the fog, endemic. No one who's returned from the fog has come back sane enough to speak, so I hardly think that's what they meant.
I
And
think that's exactly what they meant.
uh,
Oscar.
Were
wow.
you there?
They go, the Bone Bridge is historical. And he turns his gaze to now the Queen, almost as not to address this information to you, but to the Queen. And goes, is a historical thing in the nation of Persalon. It probably, I don't even know if it still remains after the fog. And even if it did, there's no way we could get to it. I mean, we can't even get our best magicians. I mean, I myself, a master of mayhem, cannot even get past the fog wall. Like, do we really think this individual could?
Would I have been near
You didn't
there
manage to
in
defeat
my-
him.
What was it, Gildea?
This
Hang on. There's a lot of people trying to
I
talk
was
at
just
once.
gonna say, would I have been near? Yeah, would I have been near there in like my military service at any point?
No. I would say that you probably wouldn't have been stationed
Okay.
at that location.
Okay.
So I stand up rather forcefully and say, this individual, as you call him, killed one of our friends. Not even a man, a shadow of the man. Killed our friend with the flick of a finger. You're saying that it's not possible?
You didn't even manage to get rid of him when he attacked the Queen.
Oh.
Oscar goes to stand off the desk and respond, and Robert chirps up from behind all of you and goes, they performed power word kill, Oscar. And Oscar sort of sinks back down onto the desk and goes, now that is really an impossibility. And turns to the Queen and goes, my Queen, I may have a solution to the fog wall problem. However, I need time and resources. And the Queen kind of waves him off and goes, we will talk about it later, Oscar. And he nods and fully stands off the desk now and sort of like wraps his hands in his coat and goes, I trust all of you will be put in the right direction, and begins exiting the room.
Good luck with your potions.
There
Hi,
is
Mr. Sana.
there is a bit of a huff as they exit the room. He exits the room, and Robert wraps around and kind of takes the position Oscar was at next to the desk and goes, so what do you think, Queen? And the Queen sort of like rocks back in her chair a little bit and rubs her head and goes, why is everything always my decision, Robert? Why must I always be the one trying to fix the problems?
You're the Queen, that's your job.
She looks at you and goes, I didn't ask to be. Honestly, they chose me.
Well then, don't you have that intelligence in there? Come
Don't
on,
you
you got
just
this.
love democracy?
She goes, I guess. She goes, it's going to take the combined force of every nation to take down the fog wall. Don't get me wrong, I trust Oscar entirely. I mean, Masters of Mayhem, he's been alive for what now, Robert? And Robert chirps in and goes, somewhere near 1400 years. And she goes, so I would trust his guidance if he thinks that the fog wall can be taken down, but we'll need everyone to do it.
Well, it's a good thing you united the world under one banner.
Not quite yet. Since the events of what happened a few days ago, the peace talks have ended. A lot of the nations are blaming each other for the attempt on my life. Though I can't quite say that's true, but I have no say in the matter, really. I do have an idea, though. A way we could unite them all, but I'll need time to set it up. I'll need to contact all of them. Robert, could you prepare the scrying room? And Robert nods and begins heading out of this office space. And she goes, until then, I have a new mission for all of you. Something to keep you occupied until the events of my plan are ready to happen. If you're interested, of course.
It depends
Hard
what it
to know
is.
if we're interested.
What have you got in mind?
She stands from her chair and goes, the Citadel is no longer trustworthy of the crown. They believe that me as queen, they are going to be just cast to the wolves until this war eventually reaches its bloody end, and, well, that's not the case. I want them to know that myself and the Silver Wolves are here for them, no matter what. I would like all of you to go into the Citadel, whether it be the city proper or the nation itself, and help people. Whether it be small favors like helping someone carry something to a carriage, or something big like stopping a robbery. As long as you work within the realm of law, it will be what I need to help secure people's trust in what we're doing.
In other words, you want us to do good things and do them in your name so that people will flock to your side.
Yes, essentially. And I know that is quite selfish to ask of you, but we can't stop a war without the people behind us. And I want as many people on the side of peace as I can get. You will be compensated, of course. Whatever the citizens pay you, you can keep, and then I, of course, will compensate you for the work you do. She reaches down next to the desk and sets a very large bag that jingles as it sets on the desk, and goes, "This is for the work you've already done. It's about, I'd say, 200 gold each. That should suffice for what you've done, and the more you do, the better it will be."
I think we could do
As
some
long
good deeds.
Yes. As long as we can trust that you are on the side of peace.
Yeah.
She sits back down in the chair and she goes, "Do you know how hard it is to run a nation that is at war?" She goes,
No, because that's not my job. That's your job.
No.
"Exactly. And I'm so tired of it. I want peace. I don't want war. I want to be able to send letters to the old world and tell them that things are going great. But unfortunately, I can't. So, here we are, wanting to end a war that's been going on for longer than most of us have been alive."
You're not the only one who claims to want peace. The man who you sent us after claims to want peace.
She sort of cocks her head at that and goes, "And how does he suppose he'll get that?"
I imagine by your removal, just as you want his removal to be your claim to peace.
She sort of sits for a moment and takes that in, and goes, "I want peace by helping people, not by just walking into events and slaughtering the highest ranking official in the room. Hopefully that tells you enough about what kind of peace we each want."
Okay.
Words mean a lot less. The actions that we've been commanded to do are not the same. Majesty.
She sort of kind of sulks in herself for a second and goes, "Well, hopefully not every order you get from here on will be against your better wishes."
I sincerely hope not.
Robert sticks his head back in the room at this point and goes, "Your Majesty, I have the scrying room ready." And she goes, "Fantastic, thank you." And stands up and she goes, "This bag is yours to diversify amongst yourselves as you wish, and I will send one of the Silver Wolves to come find you when I feel we're ready to act on the next part of this plan. Your time is from here on to do as you wish." And she.
I'm gonna snatch that bag before, Azrael does.
Very well.
Very trustworthy with money.
Are you going to divide it up as well?
Yes, I am.
We're each getting 200. Is that what I heard? Correctly,
Yes.
Dungeon Master.
Yes.
Gold.
FIFA throws up.
That weighs
okay,
more
it's
than
okay.
FIFA.
No, you're okay. You're fine. You're gonna be okay. It's just we can spend it on some more stuff.
Uh,
I could also hold on to it for you.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
I like the idea of like FIFA opening the bag and reaching his head into it, and just the smell of gold is like, "Ugh." Like when you smell pennies, just like. "Ugh."
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, you are all you diversify this bag amongst yourself for 200 each, and you are now in the castle.
I'm gonna give FIFA some cheese just so that he can smell that, so that he's not got the gold anywhere.
Good. It's so blue. I love it.
It's okay, buddy. It's just I got you.
The cheese. Oh, this is good. Thank you. I needed this. This is so much better. I needed an emotional support cheese.
It's a very good Stilton. It's very good.
Stilton. That was my uncle's name.
I love it.
At least I think it was. I like to think it was. I didn't know my uncle, or his name, or if he existed.
It's okay. We can name the cheese after him anyway. That's fine. Stilton's cheese.
Stilton cheese.
Yeah, up to you guys on
Right.
what you'd like to do
I
next.
feel like he should have a middle name, like entertainment. Stilton Entertainment Cheese.
So, we're just supposed to go out and do good work.
Yeah, so
I still need to go back to the barracks.
Oh yeah, you have to do that.
Gildea needs to go to the barracks, and the queen essentially said that she wants you guys to do odd jobs around the citadel, not just the city, but anywhere that you can find work in the name of the queen until she gets phase 2 ready for her plan to fix the fog wall.
Well, maybe your friend will have work
Okay.
for all of
Are
us.
you wanting to go to this? Yeah, do you want to go
Maybe.
alone, or do you want us to come with you?
It doesn't matter to me. And
I would like to come along. I've never been to a barracks before.
Oh, okay, great.
All right. You all head down
Okay,
to.
you
Thanks,
to look
buddy.
after FIFA. Just you have him for today. He's yours.
I'm not. I think we're splitting the party, Dungeon Master.
What is it?
I think we're splitting the party.
Who's going where then?
I'm going back to the inn where I'm staying, and hope that the person who I know there might know of something we could occupy ourselves with, and also do something else that I'm not going to talk about.
Okay. Okay, so I know Dorcas is going to the inn, Gildea is going to the barracks. FIFA said he wanted to go with Gildea. Where's Vaza and Ezreal going?
I feel like I should keep an eye on Azrael.
Okay.
Because out of all of us, he's the most likely to go for a nefarious good deed, and not necessarily a good deed.
Define good.
Good for other people, not you.
Well, they don't have to be mutually exclusive.
So, Azriel, where are you headed?
I don't know.
All right. I can settle the other stuff while you two try to think about what you would like to head off to. So we will go with Gildea and FIFA first. So Gildea, you lead FIFA down into the middle district where the kind of, united barracks exists for the different militaries. You give the guards the okay that a civilian is allowed to come in because they are being escorted by you. And you go in.
Is that a dab?
That was a
Yes,
dab.
it's the common
threw
salute.
me.
You give a bow, you give a wave, you kind of faint a little bit, and then you just...
It threw me off for a second. I was like, what the?
It's a common goblin greeting.
Oh, and the satyr. I was
okay.
raised by satyrs, so it might be a little off.
You go to the Malian section, and their kind of front desk, sort of, and the person behind the desk looks up to see you enter, and goes, "Oh, Commander, there's a," and they kind of like motion you to come close because they seem like they're a little awkward about what's going on. But they sort of lean across the desk and they go, "There's a admiral from the Remit Assault here to see you. Something about your orders."
Oh, this sounds important. I'm excited to hear about it.
I gave. Okay, was there something that happened in the game that I'm not remembering? Because like I.
In your one shot, the admiral is the one
Okay.
who ordered you to go to the Citadel in the first place.
Okay, got it. Okay. And he is. Where?
It was a she. And
Sorry.
it's all right.
She, my bad.
He goes, "She's in the third conference room. She's just kind of waiting back there. I don't know if she's with anybody, but she's the one who asked for you."
Okay. Thank you.
Well, let's go meet your
No.
friend.
Back there. Yeah.
You're gonna take FIFA?
I think you should.
I love
Sure.
it. I love the idea
Yeah.
of you taking FIFA.
Well, you have to be escorted, so you gotta come with me, buddy.
So the two of you,
I hope they have water.
head down to one of the conference rooms
Of course they do.
and open up, and there are 3 individuals sitting in the room. There's a very long table. So like when you open the door, the table goes away from you in length, and at the far end, on the very end, there is a person wearing very flashy armor that you haven't seen before. It's the kind of armor that really doesn't look like it would be very good in battle, but the symbols and medals and things hanging off of it make it seem like they are a very high-ranking individual. You recognize a lot of them just from your military experience. I won't have you roll anything. As like battle valor, sea valor, administrative position, and so on and so forth. Next to them is the admiral, the half-orc admiral who originally sent you to the Citadel, and then across from them is another person that you recognize. It is Green, who was the lieutenant in your squadron when you originally were involved in the special forces. And all three stand when you enter the room, and the admiral goes, "Commander, please," and looks down and goes, "Who is this?"
Ah, so this is where the soldiers sleep. Fascinating. Beef a
This
cup
is
there
one
at your service.
of my current companions.
She goes, "Oh, it's kind of irregular for non-knighted people to take a squire, but, I can understand.
Oh, please, do I look like a squire to you?
The much larger individual, who, now that they've looked up and stood up fully, you notice is Elvin, which isn't a very normal thing, goes,
With the
"Yes,
flashy armor.
yes," goes,
Okay.
"Yes, you very much do."
Oh, that's good to know. Maybe I've got a future in it.
He is not my squire.
The admiral goes, "Got it. Commander," and puts on like this really fake smile face while like turning their head away from the person at the end of the table. Goes,
Oh, God.
"Commander, this is High General Drisbin of the Malian military. Our High General, like second to the Lady of Malia."
General, Admiral, Green.
Green doesn't really say anything. They seem to have sort of like a very like washed out look on their faces. He kind of nods, and the general goes, "Commander, have a seat." And they all sit back down and begin pulling out some papers. We're gonna jump over to what Dorcas is up to. At the Blue Star. The noise.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to the room I have and try and open the book again.
Okay.
Same check as before.
Yeah, give Slide a hand.
That is worse. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're definitely struggling trying to get this book open, with picking
And
the
I'm
lock.
getting very upset and angry about it, so I throw it against the wall.
Make a strength throw.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Wow.
You chuck the book across the room, and it smacks up against the wall and falls open on the ground.
Okay. And I go and look at it.
So, when you look at this book, are you just kind of reading it on the floor, or do you bring it back to the desk?
I bring it back to the desk.
Okay. You're sitting at the desk looking over at this book, and you flip through a couple pages, and for a second it sort of seems blank. But make an Arcana check. 18. The closer you look, you see colors start to swirl across the page, in no real language that you recognize. But for a second, it's almost as if you can read what the colors portray. And you see a few words that reach out to you. As the colors swirl and you start to make sense of what some of them mean, you see the words cataclysm. You see a title as it is capitalized, The Fractured. And a little further down, you see the word legacy. And as you flip more through the book, these colors still swirl, but it's not quite enough to make sense of what they say. Though,
So give me the three words again.
so you see Cataclysm, The Fractured as a title, and then Legacy. And as you flip and you try to make more sense of the colors, these words appear again, but you can't make more words out.
All right. Does it? Can I have any sense as to what kind of book this is? Is it something? Is it?
So with your 18 Arcana, you get when the book opens and the colors start to swirl, you get a very strong feeling of pure mayhem, which is the origin of magic in the world.
Jake,
Okay.
come here. Why were you both outside?
Patty's over here parenting.
Whenever I want to open the book, I can do it whenever I want.
Yeah, the lock is now open, so now you can open the book at whatever juncture you feel.
Not sure if there's anything else I can do with it. I try and kind of channel my own power in my hand. I don't release a spell, but just kind of wave it over to see if it reacts to that.
Okay. Gosh, let me look at something here. Let me see how I want this to play out. What the heck? It's telling me to do things I want to do. I guess with this one, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Because you already rolled for Arcana, I want you to do this one. 15. So when you channel some magic and wave it over the book to see what happens, the colors that wave seem to follow your hand around. And
Okay.
so what color, Dragon, are you? What do you breathe?
Blue.
You breathe lightning.
Lightning.
So would it be right to assume that most of your spells come out blue? If you were
Yeah.
like channeling your aura. You watch your aura, instead of blue, turn sort of chromatic. And instead of very bright colors, it's more deep reds and oranges in the chromatic waves. And as your hand gets closer to the book, there is a blast. And make a dexterity save.
So I just roll my dexterity. Okay.
Yes. 11. You are thrown out of your chair, and you hit the bed on the other side of the room, and the book still lays open on the desk, but just about everything around the desk was thrown away from it. From this connection.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of in shock because I'm not sure what this means. But I go back to it and reach out to
I want to try this one.
just to close it.
Make sure
So
there's a
I'm
little bit of
reaching
ice
out
in there.
gingerly to see if it'll react again.
When you reach out without channeling magic, you just sort of flip the cover over and the book closes.
Okay. Then I put it back in my pack and I head back down to the tavern.
Alrighty. Azriel and Vaza. Vaza said she was following Azriel, so it's up to Azriel what he's doing.
I would like to go shopping.
Alrighty. So, you go wandering around for a bit to find a place to shop with your newfound money, and you see a familiar sign in the Middle District of Brimstone's Battle Boutique.
Are we going into Brimstones?
Well, yes, we made friends last time.
Let's go see our friends.
You enter into Brimstone's, and there's, like last time, seemingly no one there. The books and inventory seem to organize themselves as they move around the store. And there is a familiar face there, Alex, who is sort of now in commoner clothes and cleaned up and not as shooken up by things. And they are looking around some of the martial weapons when the two of you walk in.
Alex, how you doing?
They kind of jump when you say their name, and they turn and go, "Oh, you guys can't sneak up on me like that. Hi. How are you guys doing? I'm just here shopping."
What a coincidence! So are we!
Oh, awesome. I don't know where the store owner is. I haven't really seen them around. And as they say that, a door in the back of the shop opens, and from the other side of the door you hear thunder. And Brimstone, the shop owner, comes in wearing like a rain poncho and goes, "I am so sorry for being so delayed. I didn't realize anyone was here." And sort of throws the poncho behind the desk and goes, "What can I do for you?"
Well, you see, I have recently come across a little bit of gold, and I was wanting to check your wares to see if there's anything you might be able to offer me.
She smiles and goes, "Well, how little is a little bit?"
I jiggle my coin purse a little bit.
Her eyebrows sort of like flash up as she hears the jingle, and she goes, "Well, why didn't you just say so?" And she knocks on the desk, and you remember that big glass display case that was on the one side that you couldn't get into?
Yeah.
The glass sort of vanishes, not like moves or anything, it vanishes, and the wall pulls out, and she goes, "These are my high-class items, and if the two of you will go to the Dungeons & Dragons chat we have, there is a PDF file that I sent for you guys to open and peruse a little bit. The prices might change a little bit, and there will be things added and taken away as time goes on. But this is just what I have right now. And then, of course, anything from the player's handbook that's like, you know, typical adventuring gear and martial equipment and things like that is on the table as well. So while you guys take a minute to look through that, we're going to go see Gildea and FIFA at the barracks.
Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed.
So the two of you take a seat at this table, this very long table.
I also check where I'm sitting for any papers that I can also ruffle.
You
And I'm
don't.
just gonna reach over and put my hand on top of his hands.
Just to, like,
I
kind of
put-
stop him.
And then I put a hand on
Without-
top of
without
your
saying
hand, and then it's like,
Oh my god.
So the general, after sifting through some papers, goes, "Commander Gildea, you've been in service in the Million military for about 10 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
You have been in the Special Forces for more than half of that, and in command of your own squad for more than half of that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize Lieutenant Green?"
Yes, sir.
Who's Lieutenant Green to you?
He was one of my subordinates in a previous command post.
The command post that the Admiral here oversaw.
Yes.
You're answering these questions, and the Admiral kind of chirps up and goes, General Drisbin, we've kind of been through this already. And the General looks to the Admiral and goes, I haven't heard it from her. And looks down at the papers again and goes, about a year ago, a combat operation was held on foreign soil, foreign being non-Malian. According to records, your team was involved in said operation, however, you were excluded. Can you confirm or deny this?
I look over at the Admiral to see if she's giving any indication
Make an
of
insight
how
check.
I should answer. Okay.
I looked at chat and saw what Beardy put into it, and it made me laugh. Why don't I see your rolls? I never see your rolls. Now there it is. There it is. 8. You got an 8 on insight.
It just took me a second.
Great.
You're
So
gonna tell me jack shit.
you glance over at the Admiral, and you don't notice her really trying to give you any eyes, but she is staring beams into the paperwork stack in front of her. Like, just a sort of... like, just dead
Oh,
stare at the paperwork.
frick. Okay. What about green? Can I roll again to get insight on green?
Yep, you can do that.
Oh my god.
Did you roll a 1?
No, but
No.
I rolled worse.
It was a 5. Green is just sort of... Green is sitting, like, really close to the desk,
Camille!
with, like, his
Jake!
the inside of his elbow is kind of leaning up against the table, you know?
Jake!
Oh.
Kind of, like, leaning forward.
Like, almost like it looks like he would be, like, handcuffed under the table? Or
Kind of
just,
like
that
he's...
he's leaning up against
that
it?
he's leaning forward, kind of like he's trying to isolate his body movement, I guess.
Camille!
I oversaw the operation, General.
So you were there.
No.
He goes, so what part of the operation did you oversee?
I briefed my team and instructed them in how to conduct the mission. And I believe I got pulled away for some other sort of duty, something. Sorry, I don't quite remember.
He makes a few notes on the papers in front of him and goes, I would imagine for your current post. And sort of looks to the Admiral a little bit and he goes, 4.5. And she hands him a paper that he begins making marks on as well. And he goes, so, according to your statement is that you were in no way involved in the events in the operation on foreign soil a year ago. Aside from sending off your units, including Lieutenant Green here.
Camille!
That is correct.
I see. He turns to Lieutenant and goes, Lieutenant Green, would you please read for me the statement that you signed off on before leaving Malia? And Lieutenant Green stands.
I knew! You weren't making me roll block checks and I knew something was wrong!
Lieutenant Green stands and goes, we left the Remit outpost to operate on foreign soil on the operation a year ago, and like starts going into very nitpicky detail of what you guys took. Like we had in our inventory 4 horses, meals for 6 days, and like goes on this long thing, and the general slams his fist and you feel the shake on your end, and he goes, Green, the important part. And Lieutenant Green like takes a big deep breath and goes, due to the commander's absence, I was put in charge of the unit.
What?
And
Tell her to
the
get out of the pool,
general
and
sort of
there's also
nods
2 packages here.
and goes, very well. Admiral, you can begin your closing. And before the Admiral does their closing, we're going to jump over to Dorcas again as we rotate around.
Oh my god. I'm so tempted to be like, I don't know a damn thing. I don't even
You
have a
can
thing
you
on
can
me.
say you're just chilling at the bar.
Soul is
No,
the
I haven't.
master of cliffhangers.
I know!
I
you
go
can
to,
say.
What's the barkeeper's name? I know his name.
Tony.
What is it?
Tony.
Tony. To him and say, have you heard anything about anyone who might need something done for him? Anything at all?
Tony kind of shrugs and goes, well, everybody needs something done. I mean, you could always check the message boards. Every small town has a set of message boards of jobs that people just don't want to do themselves. Anything from hauling cargo to buying something they can't get around to go do, or some people want monsters taken care of. And that's usually outside the city, though. We don't get many monsters here.
So what you're saying is that you don't have any direct information for me.
Aside from, like I said, the message board, there's a message board if you go out to the lower district. They've got that sort of trading post down there by the wall. There's a message board over there for inner city problems. But you could always leave the city, and there's a town not far from the gate. They got a message board there too outside their inn. But I don't know what the jobs there are like. The jobs down by the cargo and shipping area is more like inner city problems of petty theft and getting things back and what have you. But if you're looking for like the really intense stuff, like the kind of things you can write home about, I would head to the town outside the walls.
Thank you, my friend.
Of course.
I flip him a gold just because.
He catches it in the cup that he's been polishing and kind of holds it up as a cheers and goes, much obliged.
What the hell?
Alright, I leave to
Why
go
weren't you
find
in
the
front of
message
it,
board that
Jake?
is nearby first, just to see what's on it.
Alright, you head down into the lower district, where the sort of cargo area is. There's a lot of wagons and things coming in and out of this place because, you know, everyone's trying to get their trade through. But you do find a wooden news board with a few different papers tacked to it. One of them you find oh god, I gotta pull things up again. So one of them you find is a individual from the upper district who's looking for a family heirloom that recently went missing. The details are that it is a ring that they a ring that went misplaced shortly before the events of like the citywide party. And they can't find it. There is a shipping company that is looking for missing cargo that went missing on the road. And there is one posted for an individual who's looking for bodyguards, just for a day.
All right. Take the one that talks about the ring.
Alrighty. You pull down that sort of pamphlet, and Azrael and Vaza, you've had a minute to sort of think about what you guys are gonna buy, if anything.
Out of character for a second. So, like they're split between 2 pages, so the price.
Yeah,
lines up with that.
the price lines up weird, but it does, like, if you were to take it from the name and go straight across, that should be the price. And if you want, like, kind of, you know, specification on it, I can't specify.
I mean, you know what I'm looking at.
The Trickster's Blade.
How did you know?
Because I just know you so well. It's almost like I went through and made sure some of these were good for class-specific items.
Almost.
Oh man, Dungeon Master.
Okay.
What's the price on that?
250 gold pieces.
That's what I thought. Okay. Did you have any questions, Vasa, before we go back in character?
We don't fully have, like, unless you're gonna barter and stuff, we don't have to fully do this, like, interaction. Knowing you, you're probably gonna barter. But, like, if you're not, we can just kind of talk it out.
No, I'm not gonna get anything from the list just yet. I'm gonna get some standard items. So
Okay.
I'm just browsing and stocking up on a few different bits and pieces.
Also, question on that: is that a replacement almost for the dagger?
No, this is just a different weapon to add to your inventory.
Okay.
Like, you can see in the description, it says cannot be thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, would it be almost like an offhand attack?
You're saying, like, could you use it in a sneak attack in place of your dagger?
Not a sneak attack, my second attack.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm quite interested in this blade that you have here.
Brimstone walks up and pulls it off the wall and goes, she goes, yes, Trickster's Blade. And she, like, sort of attaches it to her wrist. Disclaimer. I am not a very creative person when it comes to magic items. Therefore, I steal things from TikTok and things I see in social media and pop culture. Therefore, you might hear things that you probably already heard of or have probably heard of in another game. Here's what you do. You shut the fuck up about it because I am not a creative person when it comes to magic items. And you just enjoy that things that you like are in the game.
Yeah!
I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of excited to be Ezio here.
Right.
Exactly gonna say that. I was like, don't be your Assassin's Creed life. I love it.
She attaches the cuff to her wrist and flicks out the blade and goes, an adventurer gave this to me not super long ago, and they said it helped them with a few shady deals. And they flick the blade back in and take the cuff off their wrist.
I like what you're doing there. Now, what is the price on this?
Well, this one is 250 gold. Not many things like it in the world, you know?
Yes, I can see that. That's a little bit more than I was wanting to pay at the moment. But
The leather looks a bit worn, doesn't it, Azrael? I mean, it's not fresh.
She's helping.
yes. It's definitely had a little bit of use to it.
Go ahead and roll for persuasion. I will grant you add 1d6 for Vaza's helping.
Okie dokie.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
9 plus 6, 15. That's the base roll. And then the 1d6 adds 4, so it's 19 total. Brimstone nods and goes, well, if I'm being honest, most of the stuff on this rack is secondhand. I mean, I get it from adventurers who come through and, you know, people who aren't adventuring anymore or found something in a crypt or whatever it may be.
Crypt?
Nothing's cursed anymore. And she goes, so I could probably lower the price a little bit. What were you thinking?
I was thinking roughly in the range of 200.
She nods and goes, okay, I can knock 50 off this. Sure, 200 gold.
Deal.
She takes 200 gold from you and hands you the Trickster's Blade. You can go ahead and add that with its custom description and all to your inventory.
I gotta move my cat to type in.
Vaz, you said you wanted to get things that are just basic from the player's handbook, right?
Yes.
What were you
So I'm gonna upgrade my armor to chain.
Okay.
And then I feel like we may be traveling some little distance, so I'm gonna get us a little donkey with a cart, because you know, in case FIFA gets tired, and then you know he can ride on the donkey, because you know I need to take care of my little buddy. So I'm
You
gonna
just
get
hear FIFA like echo in the back of your brain. I've got such little legs. How can I walk this far?
and I feel like, you know, a donkey and a cart is pretty apt for our ragtag bunch. I don't think a horse is appropriate.
No.
So, yeah, and he's gonna be called Simon.
All right. Is there a
and,
part in here that says how much a mount is?
Yeah, so a donkey is like 8 gold,
I'm not
and then the
seeing
cart
this.
is like 15 gold on top of that. But then we can chuck all of our crap in the cart, so we don't have to carry it around with ourselves.
Alrighty. So yeah, the chain armor is 50.
50, I think, yeah.
And then I'm not seeing the cart and the donkey thing, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it. I'm gonna have to find that at some point.
Okay, I'll add it in, I'll pay for it. But yeah,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna get like some feed for Simon.
Okay.
And just some general like additions, like a couple of rations.
Okay.
And I'm going to purchase a musical instrument, which none of you know that I play yet, and I will keep it a secret from you until such time as is required.
Love secrets.
Alrighty then. Which one are you gonna buy? That's interesting. You can keep it from me if you want to.
I will do.
Very well.
I will let you know later, Dungeon Master.
Oh, there's mounts and vehicles. Alright. I just wasn't flipping far enough. Alright, and is that everything for you?
Yeah.
And then Azrael spent all his money, so I'm guessing that's his go for.
Yep.
Alright. Back to the barracks. Where Beardy's having a freaking time of it. And so is Mrs. Nerd. Um, the Admiral stands, holding a few papers and goes, upon the evidence found here, we find Commander Gildea not guilty of treason, however, guilty of removing herself from command without proper guidance, and sort of flips that page over. Lieutenant Green was not properly trained nor ready to operate as leader of the unit, and therefore she was stepping down without the authority to do so. And she sits back down, kind of giving like subtle like glances over to you when she says all that. And the general nods and goes, Commander Gildea, as you know, my day-to-day operations don't deal with, direct boots on the ground. I am more of in an office position now. But in matters of treason, it is me who has to deal with what is going on. Unfortunately, that's what this case was. With the evidence that we've been given and your statement, which is why we came, I find you not guilty of treason. However, I do find you guilty of improperly leaving your post. With that, and the time you've spent here, and a lot of very long conversations with officials that honestly I do not enjoy talking to, I feel it is necessary to remove you of your military service effective immediately. It will be an honorable discharge. You will keep your rank. There will be a bank account in Malia that you will be given your severance pay in. However, you will not be allowed to operate in a military branch here forward. What do you say?
Sir,
What? Not right now.
if that is what you've decided is necessary, then I guess
Packages
I don't
on the
have
back
a
porch.
choice.
As I said, the discharge will be honorable. A very generous severance from your 10 years of service will be put into a bank account in Malia upon your return. And he gestures to the Admiral, who slides a folder down the table. And he goes, in that is all the paperwork, as well as documentation showing that you are a citizen of Malia and can return with the borders being what they are. Aside from that, I don't believe I have anything else to say today. And the Admiral goes, there's one more thing, General. And he goes, yes. In conclusion, the Admiral will be seen on Malian soil at a court determining her continuation of her service. You, of course, already know that, Admiral. And looks to the Lieutenant and goes, Lieutenant, you will be escorted off the premises and you will return to the cage. And the Lieutenant nods and stands, and it's at this point that you see his hands are cuffed together. And he goes, Commander, I apologize for bringing you in here. I'm sorry to remove you from service before necessary, but certain things cannot be left alone.
Why, sir? Why is Green arrested?
Because according to all statements and all evidence found, he led the assault that was considered an act of treason.
But under my command, under my direction.
No, the direction came to your overheads. You made sure they left properly, which is why the Admiral will be having a court case in Malia to determine whether or not she will continue her military experience. General Drisbin stands and gestures to the Admiral, who also stands, and goes, with the knowledge of your experience together as soldiers, I will give the two of you some time alone. Admiral, we need to prepare for leaving the Citadel. And the two of them exit the room. And you, FIFA, and Lieutenant Green are all in the conference room together.
I'm gonna step out into the hallway for a second. I feel like I'll yeah. I'm just gonna no, I'm just getting I'll just be and it's like I'm just gonna
Just let him go.
I'm just gonna
It's
nope,
okay,
I'm just
FIFA.
gonna, and I just it's slow. I'm just gonna okay.
Just like
and
slowly closing the door as you're like, it's fine. I'm gonna.
It's totally fine. I'm just gonna.
The door closes. The door closing on the other side. You hear like a faint. It's fine. It's
fine. I'm just out here. I'm just out here. I'm just gonna. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes.
Oh, Green, I'm so sorry.
Green shakes his head and goes, I mean, I can say I got it better than the other guys. I got the shortest sentence out of all of them, so it won't be too bad.
This whole thing is just... it was a mess from the start.
I heard some people talking about what work you've been doing since you've gotten to the capital. What's been going on lately, and how you know, according to some rumors, you're working for the Queen, which is insane.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the right people are staying in the fight. And he goes to like walk towards the door, and before he passes you, he's like, if you end up going home, could you visit my house and like tell my family I tried?
Of course.
Of
course.
He nods, and as he opens the door to leave, he goes, I'll see you around command, Mrs. Gildea. And steps out of the room.
I'm just gonna...
It's
fine, everything's fine.
Wait, why was it Mrs.?
Because you, effective immediately, were removed from... Or Miss, sorry. But...
Surprise!
Ms. Gildea, sorry.
Yeah. God.
Fuck, that was heavy.
Oh my god.
I kind of peek my head through the door as I see him
Did
leave.
these just get delivered?
Yeah, they just got delivered.
I walk in, I take a seat. I take a seat next to you.
That's mom.
So,
I know it's fun.
so that,
What's this?
probably something I wasn't meant to hear.
Oh, okay, this is for my Jeep.
Maybe not, but
Okay.
you know what? I appreciate your company.
Absolutely, and I just want you to know if you wish to keep it on
Want
the
me to
hush hush,
put
your
this on top
secret
of
is
that
safe
box?
with me.
Okay.
Trash.
They're stripping me of my rank and you know, it's not gonna be a secret
Okay.
for long, even if I tried. So
I feel like something's missing.
it is what it is.
What's in there?
You know,
Let's get out of here.
I
What's
was
in that
also
box?
Probably.
sort of stripped from my rank. I trained under the village.
And there was
druids.
no other
There were
package.
Two of them.
Even on the
They
front
had a
or the
lot of
back.
energy. You could say that there was a big bi druid energy over there. But eventually they stripped me of my position and they sent me off as well. So I know how you feel, and if you need anything, let me know.
Okay. Thanks. And I'm gonna turn around and head for the door.
You two leave. You
Make one last look. Just. Is there any snacks in here?
this
Or
was
blankets? Like, where do they sleep?
This is just a conference room. This is just base conference room, table, place to talk.
They don't sleep here, FIFA.
But it's such a big
They're-
bed.
they're-
You could fit like
No.
20 soldiers on it.
Yeah, that's a table.
Bed, table, it's all the same. I prefer to sleep under the stars.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's go, buddy.
You two head your way out, and as you pass that main office again, you are given sort of a small box with, your medals and other effects that you would keep at the barracks, not directly on your person at all times.
They packed it up for
And-
you?
As
Yeah.
you're given your things and everything,
Wow.
the person standing at the desk fully stands up, and everyone. There's a lot of military members in this room. A lot,
Millie!
from the Malian Alliance. From your enemy. This is the barracks of all military. So there's a lot of bad blood. But everyone from different militaries are working in this room. And the person at the front desk stands up, and everyone kind
has
of
to be
looks
one more at the
over
front.
at the desk, and in a big booming voice they go, "For the last time, Commander Gildea is leaving," and salutes, and everyone stands at attention, and a couple people hold the door open for you two as you walk out. And you
Probably.
I
gonna
try to
salute
stay
back.
inside so that she can have this moment leaving. I'm like, I don't want to be. Oh, I feel. And then once everybody's done saluting, then I leave. Scurry out. This is your moment. No.
And I would say that you all meet back up as Vaza and Azriel are finishing their transaction in Brimstones. And all of you are now there. And if you guys haven't gotten a chance to look at the shopping list, Dorcas, Gildea, FIFA, that's in the chat. You're more than welcome to do that now.
So, what happened with you
didn't.
guys?
Oh, well,
I
not
got to
every
see
day
a
you-
conference room.
Okay.
They don't sleep in there.
it's not every... It's not every day you get stripped of your military rank, you know?
What?
Yep.
Why?
It's a long story. And it's... Honestly, it's not that important anymore.
So you
So...
what you want with us
Yeah.
now?
What?
You can do whatever you want with us now.
Well, yeah, but... I mean... we still gotta do good.
Good is back to being subjective.
Meat's back on the menu, boy.
I like the image of Azrael. I like the image of Azrael like tying the straps on his new blade and being like, "Good is back." Like the blade comes out.
So am I correct in assuming the bottom 2 items on that list are 50 gold?
Yeah.
The wands are 150?
Yes. No, wait, hold on. Those are 175. The wand of Fireball and the Wall of Frost,
Yeah.
those are 175. Well, you guys kind of looked through that. Just for everybody that can't, of course, see this list, Azrael bought something on the list called the Trickster's Blade, which is a hidden blade concealed in a hide bracer. It cannot be thrown, and it does 1d piercing damage and causes the target to bleed for 1d4 each turn. Something I didn't add to that is that they can use either an action or a bonus action to stop the bleeding. So if it's like you hit them and then they decide to use their action to hold, they can stop the bleeding instead of attack, so that way they don't consistently take that damage. But that's the thing that
Stop the bleeding.
They stem the bleeding.
yeah, slow it down.
Why would we do that?
Have you met
Well, I'm gonna
Simon?
go. What? Who's
Have you
Simon?
met Simon? Simon's our donkey. Here's Simon.
Oh. Hi.
Mona!
Simone. Yeah. Do you like him, FIFA?
How big is...
I love
Go ahead.
You could probably pat him on the head. I mean, he's a donkey. Like, he's...
Is he
You
going,
reached the head.
is he going
though.
to bite?
No, he can be your friend. When you get tired, you can...
Beardy just destroying their entire setup.
Incredible.
I love it.
I'm gonna go in and buy something.
Okay.
If you give him some straw, then he'll be really good with you.
Oh, I don't like
Strawberries.
straws. They kill the turtles.
No, straw. Hay. Have some hay.
Ah!
Mr. Nerd, you had a question about an item?
Hey.
How big is the rod?
The
Woo.
the immovable rod is just like
How big do you want it to be, babe?
it's like a 1.5 foot long metal rod that, when activated, it just stops wherever it's at. Yeah.
I would like to buy the bottom 2 items.
The immovable rod, a metal rod that, when activated, will become motionless wherever positioned. And Charlie's gold ring. A gold ring, when worn, the user teleports to a random location 20 feet away until removed. Yeah, you can buy them both.
Can he use the rod to channel his magical energies?
That's not what this one is. It's not like a wand. It's more of just you activate it and it just... It's hard to explain.
No, but I could probably use it in my offhand.
Yeah.
If I'm using my staff one-handed.
Yeah.
It essentially,
You
like,
buy two, you've got portable monkey bars.
you could essentially, yeah, like you just hold it and then when you activate it, you let go and it just sits there. And that's just how that works. So,
Cool. Interesting.
How much force? I mean, is it truly immovable? Like, if I put it in the middle of an air and someone's running like right behind me and it clotheslines them, is it still gonna stay put?
yes.
Okay.
Oh.
The possibilities.
Right. Azrael's like, now how can I use this to get the height advantage somewhere?
I
gonna
must
have me just
have
put it
the
somewhere.
high ground.
Yes.
So give me 3 so I can have a ladder.
Are there that many of them? Or is there more than one?
The Amua rod, I'll say, you could probably. I would say there's probably 2 there you could buy. The golden ring, there's only one of. Smoke bombs, you could buy multiple of. I think that's about the extent of it in terms of like multiple items.
Both of them. You know what? I'll buy both of them. So
Okay.
the one ring, the 2 rods.
Alrighty,
Ooh,
150 gold.
Yep.
Ready. FIFA and Gildea, anything that strikes your fancy?
No.
Yes, that shield over there with the star on it. How much is that?
Which one are you looking at when you say the star on it?
Shield of Return.
Got you.
Captain
God,
America.
gotcha.
The Captain
Okay.
America shield!
Yeah.
It's 200.
I understood that reference.
It took me a second. I forgot that's what that's modeled off of. 200 gold pieces.
You know, that would look really good on me, and I'd have had a shit day. I just lost my job. And I would really like to just give you 175 gold for it.
Do you need gold, Gildea? I can spot you some of the gold.
Make a
I'm like,
persuasion check.
I'm gonna smack FIFA with my tail and
Ow!
and just point him in the go talk. Simon's here. Have you tried to feed Simon a strawberry?
Oh my god. Oh, that's perception. Whoops.
Ooh. Ooh.
That was terrible.
12.
A little better.
Shelby, Brimstone, shakes her head and goes, I can't really go less than 200 with this.
Fine. Can't help
Draps look a little
Gotta have it.
worn.
I told you before, Vaza, everything here is used.
But that still means it's worn.
It is a little soggy. What has this been in ice for 80 years?
God
it.
damn it.
It's alright. I know that you all need to make a living too, so, yeah. I will, still take it for 200.
Alrighty.
And it comes with the honorary title of captain.
Ooh.
So for you at home, she bought the Shield of Return, which is a round shield that can be thrown at an enemy and returns to its user on a successful hit. It does 2d6 bludgeoning damage, or it can hit 2 enemies within 10 feet of each other for 1d6 each. So
How do I...
what's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
One thing we're going to have to keep track of is whether or not you have the shield equipped. I'll still allow you to equip it in your offhand, but we'll have to keep track of whether or not you actually have it. Because when shields are equipped, they give a +2 to your armor class. That's just how shields are. And it also determines whether or not you can use one-handed or two-handed strikes. So if you're like, oh, I have the shield, okay, great, then you can't do two-handed strikes, and we have to keep track of the fact that you're holding a shield.
Yeah.
You have to add it as a custom item. I figured that was where you were going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to add these as custom items.
Okay. Can't just, like, go to the shield that's already in my equipment and edit that line.
If you want to replace it, yeah.
Okay.
She sell her
Yeah,
shield?
can I sell my shield back to the merchant?
So you asked for 175. I'll say that you can get the shield for 175 if you're replacing your other shield with it.
I mean, it says my current shield only costs 10, so that feels...
Why are you giving you the deal? Take it and run.
Okay. All right.
She said
175
175.
on the trade.
I heard it. It's
This shield is clearly only worth around 10 gold.
FIFA.
We'll say.
Have
Okay,
you
wait,
worked
wait,
out
wait.
Simon's
Wait.
last
We'll say
name
this.
yet?
We'll say this. It is specifically a
Owl.
Malian. It is specifically a Malian military shield.
Ooh.
So you would be giving up a military grade shield for the 175 price. And that's also a piece of your military armor that you're giving away.
Yeah, well,
They gave you away.
they did give me away.
Yeah,
Bitches.
to the
Flick me
streets.
the bird today.
FIFA.
Oh, God. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll figure that out later.
Huh?
Right?
I figured it out, so I can walk you through it later too.
So did
Okay,
you
cool.
did you trade out your shield?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, I'm
Um,
not, like, I didn't, like, actually do it in D&D Beyond, but I will.
That's fine. Yeah, we can work that out afterwards. So is that everyone's shopping experience? Is everyone happy with where they've ended up?
I believe so. Yes.
Alrighty. The big section of wall that came out with all the magic items slides back into place, and the glass reappears. And Brimstone kind of gives a big smile wave and goes, "Thank you all for coming around. I really hope that this is a pretty consistent friendship we come in contact with."
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is that back room... Do I hear thunder?
Oh yeah. She walks over to the door
Why?
and opens it up, and she goes, "I don't usually let people back here, but it is kind of cool, so you can check it out."
Oh my
And
gosh, and I run in.
So when you run through, you get this overwhelming sense of vertigo for a second. In fact, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I guarantee I failed that.
Uh-oh.
No, you're a hardy goblin. I saw your character sheet.
It's very spry.
Oh, that was just a check. No, that was a saving.
Yep.
10.
10.
I rolled
You
a 10.
get exceedingly dizzy and have to catch yourself on the wall and kind of throw up a little bit.
Nope.
You're
And
reminded of the smell of gold.
as you sort of steady yourself and come to, you look up and see that you're back in the store, facing the other direction. And Brimstone kind of leans in the doorframe and goes, "A long time ago, someone sold me this magic keyring that can take me anywhere that I have a key to a door to, so I have shops all over Pursalon." And she points at the window where you see the storm and everything coming down, and she goes, "This is Remit. They're having a bit of a bad storm right now."
Oh my shit.
Language.
Sorry.
Pretty sure that was Gilbea's line.
Wait, where all can you go with this?
She goes, "Well, this is Remit," and then brings you back into the shop you are in and closes the door. She pulls out a keyring that seems to kind of sparkle when she holds onto it, flips through the keys, puts in the lock, twists, and opens, and you see, again, the exact same shop you're currently in, just mirrored, and through the window you see bright, shining day, and you look like you're on a city block somewhere. And she goes, "This is Malia," and closes the door again, does the key, opens it up. You see sort of very rocky red earth outside. She goes, "We're in Telbach now." She goes, I can go kind of wherever I own a place.
Do you have staff in all of these places?
Well, no, I can just get to one wherever I go. There's the bell on the door, so whenever the bell goes off, I go, oh, there must be someone at one of the shops, and open the door, and eventually I open it, and there's someone there.
Oh my gosh. That's some Howl's Moving Castle stuff.
How's what?
Oh, sorry.
All right. But yeah.
Druid lore.
So, if you guys find yourself in different places amongst your travels and need somewhere to shop, you can always find a Brimstones.
Okay.
Oh,
If we
I need a way
needed
to
to
get
go
somewhere
from one
quickly.
town to another,
That's-
could we
I think
use
we just
this?
unlocked fast travel.
She kind of like grimaces and goes, I don't really know about just letting people use it. The borders.
What about for a price?
How much? I've never let anyone do this before, and it's
Well,
honestly not something I kind of
We'll
tell
only use
people.
it in the case of emergencies. We wouldn't want to waste our new donkey named Simon, and not use our friend. So, if there was an emergency and we needed to come by, would that be okay?
She thinks for a second and goes, I suppose in the case of absolute emergency, like life or death scenarios.
Yes, this would be like on Queen approved business, of course.
I could probably get around to letting you use it then, yeah.
Sounds good.
Queen approved. Wink.
She kind of chuckles and goes, yeah, Queen approved, and winks back at you.
Both of you are only blinking one of your eyes. Do you know that?
She leans down and like grabs your cheek and goes, you are just adorable, aren't you?
Ah! Consent, please.
She goes, my bad. Is there anything else you guys need?
No, miss. Thank you.
Well, all right then. Well, thanks for coming by, and hope to see you again.
You all leave?
Yeah.
Guessing so.
Okay, I kind of wait a moment and let them all leave,
Okay.
and then turn back and ask something that I came across recently that I might like your opinion on, if you wouldn't mind.
She gets really excited and goes, oh, I love it when people bring things from their travels, and like lays a really nice fabric out on the desk, like the kind that you would set things on so they wouldn't get damaged. And she puts on a pair of gloves and goes, all right, show me.
I pull the book out of my pack and put it down.
She kind of looks at it weird and goes, what am I looking at right now?
I was sort of hoping you might be able to tell me.
She sort of shrugs and she goes, there's a lock, does it open?
I open it.
She goes, oh, great, well let's, and she looks down at the book and you see her face go from smile to deadpan and her eyes turn into just 1,000-yard stare. And she's just like looking, not even at the book, just sort of through it.
You kill our fast travel already?
And you are
not
just
have.
here with her looking down at this book, and you don't notice it at first, but you know when you get a really loud ringing in your ear that builds from like a loud noise? That starts growing in your ears as she's staring down at this book.
I close it.
You close it, and she sort of reels back for a second and goes, whoa. She's like, where'd you get that?
place where an evil man sat.
She goes, yeah, wow. Huh. Let me tell you what, I know a few people that are really good with this kind of stuff. I'm gonna ask around, and next time you come through, I can probably have some answers for you. Cause
There's
that,
one other thing
wow.
that I would ask you for. With
Yeah, of course.
I kind of do the thing where I wave my hand over where I have magic activated,
Mm-hmm.
and I show that it starts out looking blue, but then when I go over, you said it's like red and orange.
Yeah.
So I show her that, and I just ask, "Do you have any idea what that means?"
You do that, and she quickly, like, rips the book out of your hands. And when she does, she goes, alright, listen here, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to pull, but you better quit it.
What do you mean?
She goes, what do you mean, what do I mean? And she slams the book down, she goes, go ahead and do that again. And she knocks on the desk, and the magic wall opens up again, and she goes hunting through the shelves on that. She takes a couple minutes, and she comes back, and in the PDF file, there's an item called A Horrid Fate that you probably saw. She comes back with the snow globe labeled A Horrid Fate and slams it down next to the book, and you see that the mayhem inside of that globe is the same color that your hand is creating. And like the same swirls and pattern and everything. And she goes, so yeah, no.
I don't understand. What is it that you're trying to tell me? I don't know what this means.
She's like, you're a wizard. Oh my god. And she runs upstairs where all the books and things are and comes back down with a book you recognize, which is the basically Mayhem in Our World book. And she flips through a few pages and she goes, oh, the physical manifestation of pure mayhem. And she flips it around and you see the same color swirls in the book. And she goes, so if you're a wizard and normal people don't use pure mayhem, then what the fuck is that? And shows you the picture of what pure mayhem looks like.
Possible.
And
it's not possible.
She sets the book down and she goes, obviously it is. So, again, leave. And either keep the book or leave it, but leave. I'll ask about it for you, but beyond that, I don't want anything to do with that book.
We just lost our fast travel, guys.
Are you saying the book is pure mayhem?
I don't know if the book...
Better hope Simon's up to the task.
I don't know if the book is pure mayhem. I don't know if you are pure mayhem. And if you are, that means you know some people I don't want to know. So, again, and I cannot stress this enough, leave. And I will ask about this for you.
I pick up the book, walk out the door with the biggest, like, what the fuck look on my face.
And you are all outside in the middle district of the Citadel.
You know, I think I saw a bolt launcher in there. I'd like to... I'm just kidding.
If you want to buy it, you can. It's kind of fucked up that you'd wait.
Can you imagine me going back in at this moment and just being like, blah?
I really imagine
Can you do
carrying
it,
a
please?
heavy crossbow.
I would love that. There's a wand of fireball. No.
It would be like
FIFA cannot get fireball.
FIFA should never have fireball access.
FIFA should
ever.
never have fireball access.
I mean, what's the one star something?
Moonbeam?
Is,
Yeah.
what?
The moonbeam?
Yeah, is bad enough.
Cast Fireball and then Moonbeam.
They counter each other out. It's okay.
August! Hello!
How are you, my scaly friends? Why the long face?
What? Oh. Fine. Everything's fine.
You
Okay.
don't look fine.
Yeah.
There's an old saying, you can't bullshit a bullshit.
So you admit it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Immediately.
Did you guys hear that? Did you
Asriel.
please tell me someone else heard that?
Asriel, please don't be ridiculous. Simon's a donkey.
Oh.
Yes, you're right. But the point still stands, Dorcas.
I love it.
I heard him admit he was a bullshitter, yes.
No,
Thank
you're
you, Gildea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
FIFA even said it. It was the donkey. I missed
Where is-
I'm so sorry.
There are two asses here.
Where is the nearest
I
like
count
mage's
At
college
least
guild?
3.
So when it comes to magic in the Citadel, the Silver Wolves are the one who kind of run things. The colleges are the ones that exist, the ones you've been to. So when it comes to the Citadel, the Silver Wolves are like the governing body of magic, whereas the schools are the governing body of magic in the other regions.
So I guess now we
Yeah,
have all of our stuff. We should do good.
Tony told me about message boards that we might look at. I peered at the one here in the city. Nothing of much consequence. He did point me to one though that might be more substantial, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Where's that?
Neighbor town.
Is it just outside the city, Soul?
Yeah, so essentially there is a town that resides outside the city walls. There's a bit of a gap between the two, but like if you were to stand at the city gate, you would be able to see that town from the city gate. It's sort of just like a you know.
So, that's where I suggest we go, unless any of you have other ideas.
Seems as good of any idea to me.
All
Now,
right.
is
Let's get
FIFA
Simon
writing
ready.
Simon, or is FIFA becoming a companion of Simon?
Simon, away!
I
I
love
hop
it.
on.
I love it.
And I start writing in the complete wrong direction.
I like the idea too that it's a donkey, so it's just kind of like light trotting along as he's like Simon, away, and it's just like little clops.
FIFA's on it, just singing ba-da-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-da-dum, 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 bum, bum.
There's people walking that are passing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what I need? Maybe I need a horn of some kind that way I can go meep meep. That way people
Horn of
know
the
that I'm
audience.
coming, you know?
If you say quite loudly, Beedo, 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 people will know where you are.
People are scared of beetles, so that's understandable. They would get out of the way.
You all begin your journey out of the Citadel walls. It's pretty midday as you do, and there are a few guards and things, some training happening and beyond, like just outside the wall because there's space to do it, as well as the odds and ends of defense things. Mostly just rubble now. It hasn't been used in a long time. And you head off towards the town just outside the wall. As you enter, there's not a lot going on here, surprisingly, considering how much goes on in the sort of cargo district, in like the lower district cargo area beyond the gate. But there's not too many people around. Just seems like your average small town. There's a couple people doing news barking, telling about the assassination attempt, the, closing of the Malian borders and so on and so forth. Just the news you all have been kind of involved in and know about. There are a few points of interest, and I'll give you guys the opportunity of which one you all go to. Among the Barkers, there is an individual sitting at a table who isn't doing, like, the news barking. He's just sort of sitting at a table. It seems very odd for what's going on around. There is the message board that Dorcas had talked about with the different things on it, and then over in front of a small house there seems to be two people in a heated argument. So it's kind of up to you guys of which of those three things you decide is like, hey, let's check that out.
Can we catch any of the heated argument from where we are?
No, but I will say, just as you were approaching, you saw the one person who's doing most of the yelling throwing the other, like, a suitcase out of the house while yelling at the other person. So...
Domestic squabble.
Potentially.
And then what else have we got? A guy at a table.
A guy at a table among the Barkers who isn't calling anything out, is just silently sitting at the table. And then the message board that Dorcas had said he heard about.
Well, we could each go to one of them and just see what the task is.
It's up to you guys. Who wants to go do what? It is your adventure. I merely weave where it goes.
So
I'm gonna
with the silver
read the
tongue
message board.
should go talk to the arguing people.
Alrighty.
It's not...
Yes, FIFA, lead the way.
I want to go to
Excuse me,
the guy at the table.
You two arguing, is everything okay? Is everything alright? Do either of you need any assistance?
So you walk up, in the midst of this argument, trying to include yourself.
I'm like still on Simon. So I'm like, go on, Simon. Say hello.
The individual who has done most of the yelling, goes, help! I don't need help. What I need is this no good wizard to get out of my house, because everything they've said so far is a lie. Oh, I can fix the crops. I can heal the wounded. It's all bullshit. You merely needed a place to live, and I don't want to hear it. And the person who they're claiming is a wizard, sort of looks up from their sort of down position. Like the person yelling is on a set of stairs, and then the person is down on the ground where you are, and goes, I'm telling you, all I need is the right components, and I can fix every problem, and it won't be an issue. And he goes, nope, no. And they
Arcana
sort
check to see if he has a magical aura around him.
Yeah, sure. 12, you sense an aura. A faint one, but an aura.
This reminds me of more.
Well, what components do you need, my good friend?
The guy yelling goes, great, someone else, and slams the door, headed inside. And the wizard kind of sits on the stairs and goes, there is a spell he wanted me to perform that would... His daughter's sick. And he asked for help, and I said I needed the right components. I can't channel magic through just me. I need something to channel it through. Unfortunately, recently, my wand was misplaced in a crypt nearby. I was looking for stuff that part doesn't matter. The point is that my wand, which I need to help the girl who is currently sick, is in the town crypt about a mile in the other direction. And I can't get it alone because I have to get to the wand in order to do anything of use.
We have a metal rod. Will that help?
No. No. It has to be some form of magical item that I can attune to.
Yes. You said it's in a crypt.
Yeah, it's this old ruin that, and a battle was fought here a long time ago, and they made a mass grave, and it became a crypt, and I was in there looking for a certain kind of flower that only grows where mass death happens, and I never found it before I got attacked and lost my wand.
Right, okay, very well. Would you say that, maybe finding and retrieving your wand would be a good thing to do in the name of the queen?
In the name of the queen? I mean...
or in the name of anybody else, really. I don't know. In the name of chicken wings, maybe?
Chicken wings! Who said chicken wings?
I would say it helps me help them, so I would say it's a pretty okay thing to do.
Okay.
I mean, healing someone's daughter might be something with.
How far away is this crypt?
Like I said, it's about a mile and a half, just out of the way there. You can see the sort of dirt path that leads to it. People go there and pay respects sometimes.
Okay, very well. Well, let me see what I can do about getting your wand back. I happen to be traveling with a group of adventurers, as it were, and we would definitely love to help you help this child. So let me see what I can do. In the meantime, it seems that you are out of a place to stay. So here is 1 gold to find yourself a place to stay for the evening, while I try to convince my friends to help you out.
He takes the gold and he goes, "This should pay for a room and more at the the little tavern here, so..."
Yes,
yeah.
Please buy a room and more. Yes.
I'll be at the tavern here if you need me. And
Well.
he
What was your name again, my good friend?
My name is Xerxes.
Xerxes. Like the allergy medicine.
He just kind of narrows his brow. He goes, "Yeah, sure." Picks up the stuff that it was thrown out, and he goes, "I'll
I was thinking Zyrtec, wasn't I?
Yes, you were." And
Yeah,
goes,
Xerxes is,
"I'll see ya."
The Persian, god emperor.
He goes, "I'll see ya at the tavern if you end up."
I thought
doing
you
what you
knew
can.
that, Sol, and you were just making a joke on purpose. Or not so Beardy.
Beardy's head is on the desk.
I was ready to
rubbed
give you
off on
credit
Beardy.
just for FIFA being FIFA.
See, that's what I thought. I thought it was just FIFA intentionally
Does
getting
seem pretty
something
in
wrong.
character.
I was like, oh, it's just, FIFA getting something wrong. He does that sometimes. No, but Beardy calls himself out going, "It's like in Zyrtec." Love it.
Allergy medicine, Persian emperor, conqueror, same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, who did what else?
Went to
I
the
went
message
guy who
board.
was- As I went to the message board.
I can do the person at the table first, and then we'll do the message board, because there's more than just one person at the message board. There's like stuff. So you walk up to the person at the table, and when you get close to them, you notice that they seem malnourished. You can see the kind of lines of their cheekbones and things, and they're sunken in cheeks, and their skin and everything just kind of like hangs off their body. They seem like they haven't eaten in a long time as they sit at this table, and they look up and they go, "Interested in a game?"
What kind of game?
Oh, it's nothing crazy, just They call it strategy, but I just enjoy playing it. And you notice that on the table, there are hexagons sort of spread out, almost like a chessboard.
Huh. What, pray tell, do you gain for winning this game?
Well, really, it's just a matter of winning and finding out. I must say, I've never been beaten, but it's a group versus one sort of mentality. I control multiple players on the table, and you, as well as whoever you decide to get to play with you, control one individual. And if I win on the game, then, well, they reach into a little chest that's sitting next to the table and pulls out a very nice amulet that seems to have gold and gems all encrusted through it, and they set it on the table and they go, "You win this."
My eyes start to.
Can I do an Arcana check on this thing?
Yes, you can.
I don't even care about the Arcana check.
14. There is a form of magic you can't quite recognize coming off of this amulet.
So I get that if I win. What if I lose?
If you lose, you just don't get the amulet. I've been trying to get rid of it, but you see, I enjoy the game. I want someone who deserves it to have it.
Very well. I will consult with my companions.
Oh, very well, very well. Vaza, you go.
Azrael's just like, can I steal it?
They take the amulet and set it back in the chest when you walk away. Vaza, you head to the message board. On the message board, there's two major things posted up there. One of them says, creatures seen in the forest at night looking for someone to hunt. And then the other says, oh, fuck, what was the other one? Shit. Okay. The other one is a picture of an individual you do not recognize, and it just says missing on top of it, and underneath it says Sentinel left for a job 2 days ago, hasn't returned.
Okay. Is there any other information about the missing person, like a name or?
No, but it gives you an address in town of where you can get more information.
Okay. I'm gonna head back to where Dorcas and Gildea are and let them know what I found on the message board.
Alright. Everyone sort of reconvenes, and y'all can discuss what you like to do.
Well,
This amulet,
I'll
eh?
think. I must admit I'm intrigued by it as well, but the game seems hardly something that the Queen would probably want us to do.
He said he
However,
wants to
that
get
be-
rid of it. Can't we just offer him money for it?
Does not seem that is what he is wanting.
He looks pretty
And
skinny.
Based on what I highly doubt we have enough gold between the four of us to afford something of this nature.
I only have like 2 gold left.
What the fuck did you do with all your gold, FIFA?
It's look at it's like clearly like 199 gold. So little.
Oh,
left.
I forgot. FIFA doesn't know the value of money. FIFA doesn't understand what money is. Oh, fuck. I forgot. Anyway.
No, you have it. You have enough. It's okay. You just keep it in your purse. Just to put it back on your belt. Okay.
Else
Even if it gets a little heavy, I'm always willing to carry it.
Shush.
Real. I feel like the best we should either look for the missing person or help this poorly child.
But what if this amulet could help us do both?
I will say, so like the missions you guys have found, and this will happen periodically throughout the game, when you guys are given a select number of missions, depending, and I'll like track it, how long it takes, how well you do, things like that, will depend on if the mission is there the next time you show up, or its effects on the world. So like if you decided, oh, I want to do this thing that seems like it's going to take 5 minutes, and you came back, the stuff will probably still be there. Or if you decided, hey, let's go on this one mission I heard about that might take a while, okay, let's go do that. When you come back, the same missions might not be available.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of your open world opportunity
So
to be like, where do we want to go and how do we want to play this?
Theoretically playing the game, it's right here.
Yeah.
I'm with Dorcas.
We don't know anything about the game, so we don't.
He said it involves strategy, which I thought maybe might be in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
And what,
But
we
I've
have
never
one
heard
character and he has many?
You each control one character while he controls many, was the way he put it.
So
there
we
would
all
be-
play together?
There would be 5 characters on our side.
I don't know. This seems. I'm not good at strategy, you all. I'll just say that straight up. You might have better luck putting Simon
will
on
do-
your team.
I will do whatever the group decides, but there's something about this.
But I like games, so
I
I
like to make
mean-
things change, and I flick a penny behind one hand, and it shows up in my other hand.
I guess if
So
you feel
strategy-
strongly about it.
Strategy can be a few different ways.
So we're gonna try this puzzle?
Sure,
Okay.
why the heck not?
Just for my
Okay.
let's
clarity,
do it.
even though yes, you guys are going to go do that, Azrael, I want you to roll sleight of hand for this magic trick that you just did. I want to know how it
Gosh,
went.
I wanted to just go. Ka-ting, ka-ting, ka-ting.
He's got a
Watch
+6.
this be a nat 10 or a nat 20. That'd be incredible. That's a 12.
It's 12. All right, I'll let you get away with it. All right. So you all go over to this table where the malnourished individual is sitting and looks up at you, Dorcas, and goes, "Did you find friends to play?"
Aye.
Oh, wonderful! And the much larger chest they reach into, they pull out a small bag that they reach into. They start pulling out clumps of clay, and they set out 5 chunks of clay on your guys' side, and then pull out a little sign that just has like, it's like a little flag figurine with what appears to be that picture of the amulet on it, and sets it down as far to them as possible. And goes, "All right, hands on the table, everyone." And they set their hands on their end of the table.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna check that there's
Okay.
nobody, behind me before I put my hands on the table.
I mean, there's
Seeing
the
that, you
there's
know.
the typical hullabaloo of the town, but no one directly standing behind you. No.
I'm behind
Okay.
you.
You're behind me. I'm gonna. You should come and be like next to me. Just.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yes.
I put my hands
Okay.
on the table. I reach
Here we
all
go.
the way.
I'm gonna.
Oh, thank you for the boosties.
Everybody sets their hands on the table.
Yeah.
Sure.
As everyone's hands are set on the table, you watch the 5 chunks of clay form and begin to take shape as you, it seems. And they have their different sizes and their different armor wearing, and it seems to be little figurines of yourself.
Are we about to play D&D in D&D?
The person on the end of the desk takes a deep breath and goes, and game. You all feel a jolt of electricity go through your body as your vision goes black. For a moment, there's nothing, and then you all wake up to be in a small encampment. No, a small encampment in the middle of the woods. You sit around a campfire, and around you are tents, seemingly set up by you since your packs are sitting next to them. It is the middle of the night, and you don't know how you got here. And when we come back, everyone will roll initiative.
Oh,
Oh, we're stopping there? Damn it, Soul!
What did you do?
We can play for a half hour
all your
longer.
fault, Dorcas.
You.
We will come back in 2 weeks to figure out what's happened to our party. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out. I want to thank By Druid Energy for following. I want to thank you all for being here. By the way, by the end of the month, I plan to have all of these episodes on my YouTube channel. Episode 1 through 4 is already there. I plan to get 5, 6, and 7 there by the end of the month. But yes, thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. We will not be back next week, but the week after, same time, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I know that doesn't work for Beardy. Beardy already said that doesn't work.
Yeah, sorry.
So we can't be back next week, but we will be back in 2 weeks with more Terribad Tavern. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Fair rolls, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.